Hello, and thanks for joining me again today. My name is Sara Fithian, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Hebron Elementary with the EVSC. Today, we're going to do another math lesson, a little pirate themed, and we'll be working with subtraction. But before we do that, I have to get my wiggles out one more time. So stand up, put your arms out, and let's do a couple arm circles. We're going to start with 5 forward and 5 backward. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent job. Now I'm going to keep going because I'm still a little nervous, so 10 more for me forwards and backwards. But while I'm doing that, you could gather a few supplies at home. If you have paper and pencil, a whiteboard, 10 socks, 10 pennies, 10 toy cars, a box of cereal that you could use 10 pieces, just grab those items and join me back here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 more backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The wiggles are gone. All right, if you joined me last time, you know that I taught you a secret on how to calm down and get ready to learn. If you weren't with me, I'm going to tell you again today. So if you hold up one of your hands, this is Mr. Starfish. You can say hello, and he'll wave. What we're going to do is use Mr. Starfish to take a couple deep breaths right here from the belly instead of right up here up top. And we're going to get calm and ready to learn our subtraction today. Last time I told you that Mr. Starfish is really helpful because we always have our hand and we can use him anytime we're feeling anxious or nervous or just need to settle. So today let's take out Mr. Starfish and the pointer of your other hand, and as we trace up the arms or fingers of our hand, we're going to be breathing in as we trace up. We will pause at the top of each finger and then breathe out or exhale as we go down. All right, so do this with me. Here we go, and in, pause, and out. In, pause, and out. In, pause, and out. In, pause, out. In, pause, out. There, so much better. All right, now that we are calm and ready to learn, we're going to jump into some subtraction. The last time I was with you, we did addition, which is joining together groups to make a larger group. Today, subtraction is just the opposite, where we'll be taking apart a large group and making 2 smaller groups. Before we do that, let's check out a video on what it's like to subtract with a pirate from Harry Kindergarten's YouTube channel.
Arr, sing with me, pirates.
When you subtract with a pirate, yo ho ho you will say. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll always take away. When you subtract with a pirate, you're always getting less. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll find the difference.
Ahoy, mateys! It's time to do some subtraction stories on our pirate ship. Once upon a time, there were 5 shipmates. I got angry and made 2 of them walk the plank. How many shipmates did I have left? Let's see. 5 minus 2 equals 3. I had 3 shipmates left. All right, it's time for a new story. One day, I had 3 pirate helpers. I got rid of one swashbuckling helper and made him walk the plank. How many pirate helpers did I have left? Let's see. 3 minus 1 equals 2. I had 2 helpers left. One more story. Once upon a time, my ship had 5 pirate parrots. 4 of them irritated me with their squawking, and I made them fly the plank. How many parrots did I have left? Let's think. 5 minus 4 equals 1. I had 1 parrot left.
When you subtract with a pirate, yo ho ho, you will say. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll always take away. When you subtract with a pirate, you're always getting less. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll find the difference.
Ahoy, my buccaneers! This time I'll show you how I subtracted me pirate belongings. Once upon a time I had 8 scary pirate hats. But drat, that sea-blowing wind blew away 4 of my hats. How many hats were left over? Think it over. 8 minus 4 equals 4. I had 4 hats left over. Next story. One morning, I was looking carefully at my 3 pirate treasure maps. Then I realized that one of them was stolen by some terrible landlubber. Shiver me timbers, how many treasure maps did I have left over? Use your brains. 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 treasure maps left. Last story. One night, I had one big treasure chest with lots of gold and jewels. Then, after I had looked away, the one treasure chest had disappeared. Arr! How many treasure chests did I have left? Let's see. 1 minus 1 equals nothing. I had 0 treasure chests left. Arr!
When you subtract with a pirate, yo ho ho, you will say. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll always take away. When you subtract with a pirate, you're always getting less. When you subtract with a pirate, you'll find the difference.
Wasn't that fantastic? His music and his videos, especially with adding and subtracting, just are amazing. I love how they put a song and put the animation with what we're doing. It really helps us learn and figure out what the addition and subtraction actually look like with a fun theme. So last time I told you that these pirate videos reminded me of puppets, and I brought them back today. So if you weren't with me before, this is Pirate Pete. These belong to my daughter, and Pirate Pete's gonna help us with a problem. We saw how in the video, there were a lot of things that were being subtracted or taken away from a larger group. So I'm gonna show you here with my puppets what that could look like. So Pirate Pete and some of his friends were on his ship. All right, so let's count and see what our large group looks like, how many there are. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there were 8 friends on Pirate Pete's ship, but Pirate Pete was having a pretty rough day, and he made 3 of them walk the plank. All right, poor guys. So let's see how many are still on Pirate Pete's ship. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we started with a large group, which was 8, and then sadly 3 of them were taken away or had to walk the plank, and so we're left with another smaller part or group, the 5. So we've seen that we could do that on a video. We've also seen how we could use some puppets or toys from home. Let's take a look at a few story problems. Now, in the story problems, we know that a story problem is just a story with a math problem stuck inside. As kindergartners, sometimes it can be hard to pull out that math problem, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. We're going to follow 3 steps and then add a 4th optional step at the end. One thing to notice, and one thing that I saw in the video, and you might have caught this too, is that the pirate song talked about the difference, how we are finding the difference in our subtraction problems. That word difference is a big fancy word for our answer. And so when we're finding the difference in a subtraction problem, we're finding the answer, what that smaller number might look like. And this will make a little more sense as we show you on the board. Okay, so let's read first. That's our very first step, is reading, and I'll read it to you and you can follow along at home. I had 9 pennies in my pocket. I used 5 of the pennies to buy a pirate sticker at the store. How many pennies do I have left? The second thing we're going to do is circle and highlight some of the important words. I like to circle the numbers first so they stand out. So let's do that. I had, what's that number? Excellent, 9 pennies. I had 9 pennies in my pocket. And how many did we use? Excellent, 5. I used 5 of the pennies to buy a pirate sticker at the store. How many pennies do I have left? Now, just like in addition, we have some special words that say, hey, I'm adding today. We also have some that give our brain a clue that we might be subtracting or taking away. Watch as I highlight those words for you. I had 9 pennies in my pocket. I used 5 of the pennies to buy a pirate sticker at the store. How many pennies do I have left? This word left is a big flag to me that I'm going to be taking away and be left with something. Our pirate example here with the puppets, we were left with 5 friends. 3 of them were taken away, and what we had left was our answer. So let's do the third step, which is actually drawing a picture. I had 9 pennies in my pocket. I told you last time that I am not an artist and this is not art class, but I do like to use circles, and they look like counters. So let's make our first group of 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the next number I see is a 5, and we're going to pause for just a minute. When I teach subtraction every year, this is where it gets a little confusing. With addition, we take the 2 numbers that we see and we draw those pictures. But with subtraction, we're only going to draw 1 set, and then we're going to start taking away. So our larger number between the 9 and the 5 is the 9. That's the number I drew. It's also the first number that I had because that's what I started with. To take away, I'm going to draw an X, kind of like X marks the spot on a treasure map. So let's put an X on 5 of the pennies because we gave away 5 of the pennies to buy a sticker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can see that there are a few counters that represent my pennies that I've not marked out. That's my answer. That's the difference. I'm going to circle those because it makes it easier for my old eyes to see that I have 4 left. Now, if I wanted to take it to that 4th optional step that really pushes your brain and makes you smarter, I'm going to write an equation or a math sentence. So I'm always going to start with what I had first. So I had 9 pennies. I draw my 9. And again, that's how many pennies I had in the first picture. Then to take away, we're going to use a special symbol. You saw it in the video. You probably already know what it is. So can you tell me what it's called? Yes, that's exactly right. It's the minus sign or subtraction sign. And it looks just like, whoops, a dash or a line. And then after that, I'm going to use that number to show how many parts or how many pieces I took away. In this example, we took away 5 of the pennies. Again, we represented that with our X's. Now, we know there's another symbol. I heard someone call it out already. Whoops, that was kind of magical. An equal sign, okay? After the equals, we have our answer, and in this case, because it's a subtraction sentence, it's called the difference. 9 minus 5 equals, and this is what we had left over, 4. So if we were to read this all together, and you can read this with me at home if you know, 9 minus 5 equals 4. You could also say take away. 9 take away 5 equals 4, or is 4. Let's try another one. Let me move this over here real quick. There we go. Okay. My sister had a birthday party. She had 10 balloons. She gave away 7 balloons to her friends. How many balloons does she have left? All right, same thing. Let's follow those first 3 steps and then add in the 4th at the end. So the first thing was reading the story, and we did that. Now I'm going to go back and look for those numbers. So when you see a number or you hear a number, you can wave your hand. My sister had a birthday party. She had 10, are you waving? Good. She had 10 balloons. She gave away 7 balloons to her friends. How many balloons does she have left? And I know you've already heard the magic word that says, hey, we're going to subtract today. So let's underline that, left. Now, when I'm reading this, I already had a clue that I might be subtracting before I got to the word left. Right here, gave away. This kind of gave me an idea that I might be losing a part of my number. Now let's go to number 2. Let's draw a picture. I'm sorry, that's number 3. Number 2 was our circles. Number 3, let's draw a picture. So how many balloons did we start off with at the party? Fabulous, we had 10, so 10 circles. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then my sister gave away 7 balloons to her friends. Now remember, we're not going to draw a new group. We're going to take away from our larger number. We already had the 10, so let's take away 7 by marking them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I like to circle the remaining counters or circles. And how many do I have? 3. Fabulous. Now let's take it to that 4th step. I like to push myself and see if I can do this. Let's write our number sentence or our equation for subtracting. How many did we start off with? Yes, 10. Then we put in that special sign, the minus. How many balloons did we give away? 7. Our equal sign, and our answer was 3. Very nice. And let's try one more. Whoops. All right. Last one. I saw 8 birds in a tree. 6 of the birds flew away. How many birds are left? All right. We're getting better at these. Let's circle the numbers. 8, 6, and I can underline flew away. In my brain, I can picture what that might look like. I can think about birds sitting in a tree and what it looks like when they fly away. So I know they're leaving or being taken away from my problem. And how many birds are left? So 3rd step would be drawing our picture. Again, let's just use circles because it's easy. So how many do we start with? Very good. You guys are so smart. We have 8 circles to represent our 8 birds. And how many of the birds are leaving or are we taking away? That's right, that second number here, that part that we're taking away is 6. So let's put an X on those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I circle the remaining birds. And how many do we have left? 2. Very good. Let's push ourselves to write that number sentence or equation. I started with how many? 8. And I already have this little line here that I accidentally put there, so let's use it. 8 minus 6 that I took away equals the 2 that we had left. So our number sentence or subtraction sentence would read 8 minus 6 equals 2. Very nice. Now, there are other ways, if we didn't have a whiteboard or a paper in front of us, that we could be doing some subtraction. So we're going to use our hands for the last 3 problems. So you're just going to listen. I'll demonstrate the first one, and then you can help me solve the last 2. Ready? My teacher had 3 pencils. He accidentally lost one of the pencils. How many pencils does he have left? Now, I wanted to show you this first problem because this can get tricky. Before, when we're doing addition, if I had said he had 3 pencils and he found 1 more pencil, we would hold up our 2 parts to join and make a whole. But with subtraction, remember, we're only starting with 1 group and then we're taking away. So I'm actually going to put 1 hand away for just a moment. So the teacher had 3 pencils. He lost how many? 1. So I'm going to put 1 finger down or take 1 finger away, and now I'm left with 2. So it would be 3 minus 1 equals 2. So let's try the next problem together. This one we are going to use both hands, but I think you can do it. Ready? Okay. 6 of my classmates were playing basketball at recess. So hold up your 6. 3 of them left to play on the monkey bars. Now, we're not going to hold up another group because that would be adding. Let's take away 3 that we already have up. So 1, 2, 3. How many friends are left? Good, 3. Okay, last one. This is a little bit challenging, and I won't walk you through this one. Let's see if you can do it. Are you ready? My mom is painting her fingernails. She has to paint all 10 of her nails. She has painted 5 of her nails so far. How many fingernails does she have left to paint? Very good. I see some of you holding up 5, and that's exactly right. If she has 10 fingers to paint, and she has already painted these 5, what's left? The other 5. Very nice. Boys and girls, thank you so much for working hard with me today. I enjoyed sharing the pirate video with you, my puppets again, and giving you some ideas of how you could be taking groups apart. Parents, if you would you please use the secret word for today, STAR, S-T-A-R, and you can use that to let us know that you are participating today and tuning in. And boys and girls, you can take this subtraction to someone in your house and show them. Use the cereal, use 10 socks, use 10 puppets or toy cars or Barbies, whatever you have, Legos, and show them how you start with a larger number and you can subtract or take away into 2 smaller parts. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.